Have you ever heard the expression, turn the other cheek? Did you ever think about what it means? Well, maybe if you haven't even heard it, after this lesson, you might notice a lot of times in your life you'll hear that phrase, turn the other cheek. Well, what does it mean? Well, back in biblical times, the concept of justice was called an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. That meant if you poke somebody's eye out, they're going to poke your eye out too. You get a punishment that's just as bad as what you did. Or if you knock somebody's tooth out, they're going to get to knock your tooth out too. Again, the punishment was just as bad as what you did, and that was considered fair and just. That was the concept of justice. Then Jesus came along and turned our whole concept of justice upside down. According to Matthew 5, verses 38 to 44, Jesus said in a famous sermon, "You have heard that it was said, eye for eye and tooth for tooth. But I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to them the other cheek also. And if anyone wants to sue you and take your shirt, hand over your coat as well. If anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with them 2 miles. Give to the one who asks you, and do not turn away from the one who wants to borrow from you. You have heard that it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." So what does this mean? Turn the other cheek. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to him the other one also? Does this mean if people are being mean to you, you should just let them do it? Or if somebody's about to pound you on the playground, do you just let them pound you? Well, not exactly. What this concept means is we can try to break the cycle of meanness. If you're mean to someone back after they're mean to you, they're going to be mad, you're going to be mad, more meanness is going to happen. So instead, you could try to break the cycle of meanness. Let's look at another example. Let's say somebody posts something mean about you on social media. This might make you really sad, and you might be tempted to then go in and type something really mean back at them and make them feel just as bad as you do. Well, that's just going to encourage a cycle of meanness. Then they're going to be mad, you're going to be mad, they're going to text something mean again, and it's just going to bring more and more meanness into the world. Instead, when you think about what you're going to do, why not think about what's going to bring more happiness and love and joy into the world instead of meanness? So instead of going and posting something really mean about that person in response, you could turn the other cheek, write something calm, and say, hey, sorry if I did something to offend you. I hope that we can get over this and we can still be friends. That's going to break the cycle of meanness. You turn the other cheek and you brought more love and joy into the world instead of more meanness. So whenever you think about what you're going to do, especially when somebody's being mean to you or hurting you in some way, think about Jesus and think about his sermon and think about how you could turn the situation around and bring more joy, more happiness, and more love into the world.